Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from the IT Visualizer channel. We'll continue our lab, the Star Trek lab. This is the 14th video. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been working the previous video and the video before, working on creating a virtual machine and install Windows 10 on it, and different programs and different tweaks, and then after that taking an image from this virtual machine to be a desktop master image, or to be a virtual machine template. So we will use this machine after putting all of the necessary programs and installing Windows. We will take an image from it and deploy it in our network scenario or in our domain. So we have been working in the two previous videos about this, and we have reached in the previous video the step where we need to create a default Windows 10 profile. We all know that the Windows, when you log in with your user profile, or when you log in with your user account on the Windows make something for you called Windows 10 user profile. This profile is related to your Windows setting, your background, your icons on the desktop, your icons pinned to the taskbar, the different views. For example, if you make your control panel view, for example, like small icons, all of this are related to your profile. And this profile, it is stored in this PC C, and then users, and this is the profile. And actually not the profile, it's not related not to your setting only, but it makes a couple of folders for you. These folders are related to your profile. So you have your own folder for downloads, you have your own folder for music, you have your own folder for pictures, you have your own folder for videos, documents, and desktop. So this profile, it is done by Windows to personalize your Windows experience, or to personalize your Windows setting. So as soon as you log off from this account and log in with another account, for example Ahmed, a completely different setting will be appearing for you. So Ahmed will have a different background than I have. He'll have a different icons on his desktop than I have. He will have different icons pinned to his taskbar different than I have, and he will have different folders. He will have his own personal downloads, musics, pictures, and videos. So this is called the profile. What we need to do, we need to fix a certain profile. For example, this is Karim profile, so we'll have this icons on the desktop, we will have this icons pinned to taskbar, we will have a lot of features and tweaks done, and I need this profile or this setting for my profile to be the default setting for all of the users that log into this machine. For example, if I log off from my account and Ahmed logs in, he will see the same setting for my profile. For example, he will see the same background I have, he will see the same icons on his desktop, the same that I have, and the same icons will be pinned to the taskbar. He will see also the pinned icons on my taskbar. He will see also this pinned icons on his taskbar also, and he will see the different views also. For example, if I have my control panel in small icons, he will see also his control panel as small icons. Why we need to do this? We need to make a unified profile that contains all of the necessary shortcuts and icons, all of this to be ready for the user. So the user, when he logs in, he can see, for example, all of the office icons are pinned to his taskbar, the necessary icons will be on his desktop, for example the control panel, other things. So he doesn't need to do this by himself. So we need to make Karim profile the default Windows 10 user profile. So in order to do this, what we have done, we are preparing the Windows 10 local profile for the user Karim. This is the user I needed to be the default profile, to be the master Windows 10 user profile, with all necessary changes to desktop, taskbar, and shortcuts, and user folders. As we said before in the video before, we have moved the folders like my music, my pictures, my downloads, all of these are moved to the D under folder called my documents in Karim profile. We need this also to be done to all of the users that will log in with their Windows accounts on the machine. Why? As I said before, if something happens to the C drive, so as I said before, there is these folders are related to the user, and all of them are in the C users. Here is the profile. What if there is a virus that takes this machine or infected this C drive, so all of your profiles will be infected and all of your users data or data folders will be infected. So I move them or redirect them from the C user profile, then the folders, it will be directed to the D folder called My Documents. So we'll have downloads will be in D My Documents, music will be in D My Documents, pictures will be in D My Documents, all of this, and this will be to the profile of Kareem and to the profile of all users. So what we have done, we will do all of this changes to the user profile of Kareem, and then this profile will be the default Windows 10 user profile. Okay, how we do this? We do this with a program called DevProf. So after doing all of the necessary changes to the user of Kareem, that will be the default Windows 10 profile, we will log off of this user, and I have another user created called Keraof2, and we'll use this user in it, or I log in with this user and then use my DevProf program to make Keraof1 the master Windows 10 user profile. Okay, this will be done using Keraof2, and then we will log off of Keraof2 and we will log in with a user called test. We will see if this test user will have the same desktop taskbar shortcuts, and all of the related setting to Keraof1 will be appeared, or it will be applied to the test user. We will see this. Okay, and we logged in with the test user. We see that everything is applied. Then after that, what we will do, we will log into Keraof again and delete the user test. Remember that we need to take an image of this machine because it will be our master image, or it will be our virtual machine template. So we need the test user to be deleted. Okay, we have tested already and the test was successful, so we will delete the test user, and then we'll make sysprep to the machine. Sysprep, it is a way that the Windows delete every setting related to the machine, or it make it anonymous, or it will make it without any ID. What do I mean by this? For example, if you take an image of this machine and then apply it to another machine, if you didn't make sysprep, the network or the domain will see these two machines as one machine. Okay, so this will make large conflicts in the network. So the sysprep guarantee that when you take an image of this virtual machine that will be a template and apply it to another machine or another new machine, it will be the network or the domain will see them as two different machines. Okay, so this is very critical why we make sysprep, and at the end we are shutting down the machine after the sysprep, and then we export this virtual machine. So we are in a Hyper-V environment. So how we can take an image in a physical world, you will take an image of this machine using, after making sysprep, of course, you will take it using different programs. There is Acronis, but Acronis makes some problems with the sysprep. You can take it by different programs. There is something called DISM, the tool for Microsoft. So in the physical world, you will take, after making sysprep of the machine, we will use an imaging software to take an image of the machine. But in a virtual world, all you need to do is to export this virtual machine, and then you can import it more than once and use it as a template, or import it and make it with a new name. So this will be a new virtual machine with a new name. Okay, so this is what we have done in the couple of videos or the previous two videos. What we need to do in this video, we need to join this virtual machine to the domain. So we will join this virtual machine to the domain, and then we will test our distributed file system setting. Remember that we have, from a couple of videos before, we have been discussing the concept of DFS and what it does, and how it is related to the file server system. I will discuss it now, or I will give you a quick recap of what we have discussed relating to the DFS. So let's go or begin recapping what we have done in the DFS, or what we need, or what is the benefit of using the DFS. Remember that we have a central command center, or we have a main office, and then we have branches. So the main office is the Starfleet command center, and the branches are the ships. So we will make a file server, and we will make a folder for every branch, okay, and for the main office to put their data on. For example, Colombia will have a file or a folder on the file server named Colombia, so all of the branch of Colombia will put their data in it, and so and so. So this is the normal file server procedure. But when we use the DFS, what we will do, the DFS will guarantee that the data on the file server can be accessed all the time, even though the server is down. How this will be done? We will make another file server, and these two file servers will sync their data between them, okay, and using the DFS, so we will make two file servers and we will sync the data between them through the DFS. So if one of them is down, the users can still access their data, okay. This is briefly what we discussed in the DFS. So the DFS, it's mainly an option or a way that we can guarantee that our data on our file server will be always accessed through using two file servers. So we will make two file servers, they will sync their data. So the file server number 1, for example, will contain all of the data of the branches and the main office, and the second server will be a backup, and it will always contain updated data of the first server. And using the DFS replication and the DFS process, once the file server number 1 is down, the file server number 2 will be online and it will be working, and the user can access their data, and it is updated to the last second, okay. So let's give it a small graph or something to make you all remember. So for example, how we have done the DFS. First of all, we have our file server, so we have, this is the main folder in our file server, okay, and then we have another subfolder. So the main folder would be for it will be called data cube, okay. Let's first see here, this folder is called data cube. This is the main folder that contains the data or the data of the branches and the main office and the branches. So now what we will do, this data cube will be shared to a group called authenticated users, and they will have change permission on data cube, okay. So this is our file server. We will have a main folder, this folder is called data cube. Remember guys, this is the way that we will configure our DFS. First of all, we need to prepare our file server and our folders on our file server, and then we will use the DFS to configure another file server and the replication between our file server number 1 and number 2. So this is our first file server. We will have a main folder called data cube. This will be shared to a group called authenticated users. It will have change permission on this folder. What is authenticated users? It is a group in the Active Directory that contains all of the users in our domain that have successfully logged into the domain by a correct username and password. So this basically contains all of the users in the domain, okay. So we will share this folder, and actually we will share it to this group, and this share, it will be hidden. We will share the folder. How we can share a hidden folder, or how we can share a folder and make it hidden? Simply at the share name of the folder. We all know that when you share a folder, it will have a share name. So what we will do when we share this folder, we will give it a share name, data cube, at the end $. So we are hiding this folder. Someone asked me, why do we need to hide this folder? Because I don't need the users to access it. We will make them access the data on the file server, but not through this folder. We will make it another way. So bear with me, I will discuss it. So now this is the data cube. It will be shared to authenticated users. It will be change permission, and then what we will do, we will have another folder. Remember that this data cube will contain all of the main office, okay, folders and the branches. And here what we will do, we will make or will create another folder called all ships. So we will have a folder for every branch and a folder for the main branch, and we'll have a folder called all ships. This folder, it will be accessed, or it will be available to all of the branches and the main office. So if I need to share a data for all of the main office and branches, we will share them in this folder. So here we go. Now this is our all ships, and then for example we remember that we have other folders for other ships. For example, here we have two folders. This is one for the Columbia ship, and this is the one for Deep Space Nine. Okay, so as I said before, it will contain the branches and the main office, and this is called all ships. All ships can access it. Okay, and in every one of these folders we'll create subfolders for every department in the branch. For example, here we will have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we'll have 8 subfolders in all ships for different branches. Okay, for example, let's show you all. For example, this is called, or we have 8 folders, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And now we will have, for example, high level ID. This is a group for important documents. It will be accessed by all ships. So for example, if there is a high level group in every branch and in the main office, for example, we have a group called high level in the main office, a group called Active Directory called high level users, and we have not only this in the main office, but we have it in the branches. So for example, Columbia have a group called high level users, and Deep Space has another group called high level users, and the main branch have also high level users. So this folder will be accessed to all ships for only the high level users group, and we can complete the normal level ID, the same, the global level ID, and then the medic. So this will folder will be accessed by all of the medic teams in all of the other ships, and the main office, it will be accessed through all ships folder. Now we will continue the engineering, the IT, the researchers, okay, the ship squad team. So this is our subfolders in this folder. Remember, we will not, until this step, all of this we didn't give access to the users yet. We didn't give them access yet to the data cube. I will show you all how they can access these folders from another way. Anyway, so we have our data cube, we have shared it as hidden share, and it will be authenticated users, and then we have different folders, and we have all ships folders, and these are the folders for the different departments combined for all ships. So this is a high level department for all ships, this is the normal level department for all ships, this is the medic department for all ships, engineering for all ships, and so on. So what we will do now, we will begin putting permissions on these folders, so I can guarantee that, for example, the medic team will access only their folder on all ships, and the engineering team will only access their folder on all ships, and so on. So now what we will do, now we will give the high level group, okay, modify permission on this folder, and it is an Ntfs permission. Remember that we have two kind of permissions. We have the SMB share permissions, and we have the Ntfs share permissions. Both are used to control which kind of users can access the folder. So here we have the high level team, or the high level department. We will give the Starcom high level group of Active Directory, will give them modify Ntfs permission on this folder. Remember that the Starcom high level group contains all of the high level groups in the other ships and in the main office. Remember that I make something called group cascading. What is group cascading? I have all of the groups in the other branches or are added to a group in the main office. So for example, here this is the medic team. Okay, for example, we have a medic team in Columbia, we have a medic team in Deep Space, so we will, and every one of them have a group. So we have a group Active Directory called Columbia Medic, we have another group called Deep Space Medic, and this for all of the branches. We will add them all in one group called Starcom Medic. So all of the medic teams are added or cascaded to one group, which is the Starcom Medic, or the cascaded group, or the high level group. So this group will contain all of the medic team, okay, in all of the main office branch and the branches, so I can use them to give permissions. So anyway, we have given the Starcom high level ID, Ntfs modify permission on the high level ID. So all of the high level groups in all of the branches and the main office are in this group, and they will have modify permission Ntfs on this folder. Okay, and we will begin with making the same for the normal, and then we make it for the global, and then we make it for the researchers. Sorry guys, because for example here this is not researchers, it will be medic. I have something not right in the graph. So here it will be Starcom medic, not researchers, so it will be flipped, okay? Or this will be here and the researchers will be there, and then we will have the engineering, it will be there also, sorry, and then we will have the IT, it will be for the folder of IT, and then we have the ship squad team. So we have a little bit of confusion of all of this, but anyway, remember that we have the data cube shared for authenticated users, we have change permission, we have these folders, every group will have modify on this folder, and remember that this permission, it is traveled or it is inherited for every folder. So we have here authenticated users on high level, we have change, and it will be inherited, this will be inherited by all of the folders beneath, okay? So we have here authenticated, 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 authenticated. So all what we have done now, it's only permissions and only sharing. Until this moment, still the users can't access their respective folders. So still they don't have access to the data cube, it is hidden, so they can't access it, and all ships, it's not shared. So until this, now we are just preparing the permissions on the folders. The step that we will make this folder available for the users, it will come now. So what after doing this, now we will make our DFS, okay, naming space. What we have done, what is the DFS? It is making simply a folder called depths. So here we will make a folder called depths and we will share it. And remember that when you share a folder, basically to access it you need to type the file server name and then the folder name or the share name of the folder. This is the normal way of accessing any shared folder on the file server, but through using the DFS it's a little bit different. You will access the folder according to the name of the share name of the folder, then the domain name. So this makes it a little bit more reliable, because the domain name will not be down. For example, if the server is down, you will not be able to access the folder, but the domain name, actually it will not be down because you have more than one domain controller, so the domain name will not be down. So what we will do, we will make the DFS naming space, which is start click.local. This is the DFS naming space, and then in this DFS naming space we will make a folder called depths and share it, okay? And I will show you all the permissions on this share. So depths, here we will have authenticated users have read permission on this folder, okay? Because by the way, this is the folder that all of the users will access. So you will not access the data cube, they will not access this one, or will not access any of this one. We will access this folder. This folder will be shared for the users, and I'll show you all how this folder will point to the different folders. I will show you all. So let's first, after making the DFS naming space start trek.local, we'll make a folder in it called depths, and we will give the authenticated users read permission on this folder. And in this folder we will create 8 folders. We call them pointers. We will make something called high level, normal level, global level, researchers, medic, okay, engineering, IT, and then squad team. So these folders, this is the one that the users will access. So I will give them, or the users will access the depths folder, and in the depths folder they will find these different folders, and every one of this folder will point to a certain folder. For example, high level ID, it will point to this folder. It's only a pointer, okay? Remember guys, this is a pointer, it is not the real folder. So I am not telling him to access the real folder. What I am doing here, I'm telling him this is a shortcut to access this folder. This is a very good step, because if this server, our first server, is down, we can redirect this shortcut to point to the other file server number 2. So we will have these folders, and then we will have different groups. So we can have this groups, we have groups on this folders, okay? So for example, we will have this folder high level, we will have the group of Starcom high level, we will have read permission on this folder, and the normal level ID folder, this Starcom normal group will have read on this folder, okay? and the same applies for the global level. This group will have read permission on this folder, and researchers will have also read permission on this folder, and so on. So every group will have NTFS permissions modify on this folder, and authenticated users will have change, and in the DFS folders they will have read. So the StarCom level will have NTFS permission modify and SMB share permission read on the high level folder in the depths. So we can see here that it is read permission, read permission, read permission, read permission, read permission, read permission, and the read permission. Okay, and the last step, that every folder will point to its folder, okay, or the folder that we need them to access. So here we will have this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, okay, and this one, and this one, and this one. So at the end, all of these, what will be available for the user, that will be this share will be available for the user, and every department will see only its folder. For example, one asked me, for example, if I need for example the high level group to see only this folder. For example, the depths folder contain a lot of folders, so how I can guarantee that the high level group will only see the high level ID pointer? It will not see the normal or the global, or so something called, or an option called access based enumeration. So for example, if this group has read permission on this pointer on this folder, they will only see this folder. If they don't have any permission on the normal ID, they will not see it, so they will only see the folder that they have permission on. Okay, I have discussed this all in the previous videos, but this is a normal or it's something like a recap. So for example, I need the final result, what the user will see. So I can show you all what the user will see. At the end, the user will see this one. So let me show you all what it will see, or what the user will see. The user will see this one. So we will go there and we will get the DFS. So at the end, the user, what you will do, the user here will see, okay, we will see this, the department share or the folder of depths. This is the one or the folder that he will see. And this, for example, this is a user in the engineering team, for example, the engineering team. So he will have the depths folder appearing for him, but he will only see the engineering team folder in the depths folder. Okay, this is because we use something called access based enumeration. Remember also this graph when I told you all that these folders or the folders will be on two servers and they will be replicated. So if this one is down, the other one will complete. And actually using the pointers, okay, as a method, it will help us to redirect. So this is a pointer. Remember that I told you that this is a pointer. This pointer, it can redirect, or it can point to file server number 1, or if it is down, it can point to file server number 2. So this pointer will help us to easily redirect the users from one file server to another. So this is briefly what the DFS means and what we have done in it. In this lab or in this folder, we will begin testing. We will see how the users will see. We need the user. For example, here is one thing. For example, this is a user from the engineering team, so I need them when he accesses the depths or the DFS depths folder, okay, or the domain namespace depths folder, I need him to see only the engineering folder. So we will see this in the video. I will show you all how this will be done. So let's begin. So here, first of all, we need to assign the NTFS permissions. As I show you in the graph, we need to have every group to have certain permissions on their folder. So again, also what I am doing now here, these folders, or the DFS will point to this folder, okay, it will point to all ships. So, or these folders will point to all ships subfolders. So this is, we need to put permissions on these folders as a whole, and we need to put the data cube permission also. So we need to put permissions on the files before making the DFS work and access it. Okay, so we will do this using a PowerShell script. So here I have my Ntfs permissions. Okay, so now you remember that the permissions, it is or the script of the permissions, I am telling him to apply certain permissions, okay, for certain groups on certain folders based on an Excel sheet or CSV file. So this is the file that will contain the groups or the Active Directory groups that I need them to have permissions on the folders. Okay, so this this Excel sheet contains the files, okay, that I need them to have permission on, and the groups that will have permission on these files. So it will be in this CSV file. This is the location. I am changing it because this was from another lab, and this is the folder that I need these permissions to be applied to. So here I am telling him in this CSV file, please, certain groups, I need them to have certain permissions in this main folder and its subfolders. Okay, so now we will see, after applying the script, we will see how these permissions are in effect. So now we will apply the permission. So here what we will do now, we will go and we will have our data cube. Remember, so we have our data cube, and then we have all chips. We need to see here the permissions that will be added. Okay, so here I'm telling him in the script, please apply certain groups, or give certain groups in the Active Directory in this CSV file, give them permissions on the subfolders in all chips or in this location. So now I will apply the script. So now we will apply the script. So still there is, okay, so now all of the script is applied. Now if you go to every folder and see the Ntfs permissions, we will see that it is already applied. I will show you all this in a moment. So here, if you can see the engineering team properties, if you can see the security, and then here we can see that engineering team are added and they are having modify. Okay, and I added that every folder, the IT group should have full control on it. Okay, Ntfs permissions. So so here we can see that the engineering team it is added. I need to remove all species anyway, so now we have added the Ntfs permissions. We need to go and begin adding or begin joining the workstation to the domain, but before that we need to add the different pointers or create the different folders in the DFS naming space. I will show you all this, but anyway we can see here I don't need all species. We can add only authenticated users. So we have said before the data cube will be hidden share, and it will be authenticated users will have change permission on this folder. So here I'm just checking all of the permissions. Okay, so here it's properties and security. We can see that the global, okay, there is a lot of things here added, and they have here a lot of folders. I need just to delete them because I was making another scenario, but I changed my mind. So now what we will do, remember here that we have here in this domain namespace or DFS namespace, we have only engineering folder and IT folder. We need to have a couple more folders. Okay, so we need to do this. So we'll begin creating different pointers or different folders that will point to different folders in the file server. Okay, So here I think we can pass it real quickly. We can go there. Okay, high level security. Anyway, so we don't need all of this. DFS naming space. So what here we do, just a moment again. So here we will begin now creating different pointers. Okay, so here I have only two folders, engineering and IT, and these two folders are pointing to the all ships engineering folder and IT folder. So now we will have another one. We will create another folder. This folder will point to the global level ID. So this is a folder, name it global ID. Okay, so we have it, and this will point to the all ships global folder, and then we will give the global level Active Directory group read permission on it. So here we will add it. So we'll add global level, and remember that the Starcom global level contains all of the global level groups in all of the main branch and main office. So now we are giving them the different permissions. We will add again, we will add another folder, and then we will add in all ships. Okay, so here we are adding pointers to the all ships subfolders. So now we will have the data cube all ships, and then we will have to point to the high level. Okay, so here the high level. Okay, and then it will point to or the direct or the folder target. So this is a very good way that if the file server is down, this pointer or this folder target can be directed to the file server number 2. So we can do this. So now we have the global level, and then we will need to have properties, and then we'll add the Starcom high level ID group, high level ID group. Okay, so now we will add it and give it read permissions. Okay, and apply and okay, and then we will begin adding the different folders. So we have the medic team, and remember that the Starcom groups are cascaded groups. It will contain the main branch or the Starcom members and the members of the other branches according to every department. So now we have all ships, and then we have medic team. Okay, and then target. So here, okay, now we will give the medic team properties. Okay, and then we will have advance, and then expelled, and then we will add the Starcom medic. So here now we will do this, and then we will apply and okay. Okay, and then we will begin adding other folders. So now we will add the researchers folder. I think I'm going, yes, this is not correct. We will go to the data cube, and then all ships, and then we'll go to the researchers. Okay, or a normal level, and then we will create a folder, and then new folder, and then the name of the folder. Take here a good look. Okay guys, if you can go a little bit further here. Okay, like this. Okay, so here we can see that it's called target folders. Here this folder will point to a certain target folder, so we can add more than one target folder. For example, if there is one folder on our first file server, we can add another folder pointing to the file server number 2. So this is a very good way. This is a shortcut. We can control which folders to point to. Okay, so now we will continue normal level, and then we will add this folder, all ships, and then we will add the normal level. Okay, and then okay, and by giving certain permissions on these pointers, we control that every department will see only its folder. Okay, not the other department's folder. Okay, it will see the shortcut of the department. Okay, shortcut of the department folder. So now we will have the normal level users. We will see that in effect when we log in a machine to the domain. I will show you all how this is done. So apply and OK. So now we have the researchers. Okay, rename, and then we have another folder, and then this is researchers, and then we will add, and then we will go to the data cube, and then we will point to the researchers folder. Okay, and then we have the last one, which is the SIP squad team, and we need to have the researchers team to have read permission on it. So we'll have spelt configuration, and then we have add, and then we will have starcom underscore research. Okay, restricted level, or this is the researchers, yes, and then OK, apply and OK, and then apply and OK. And then we have the last one, which is the ship squad team. Okay, we will go to the data cube, and then the all ships, and then the ship squad team, and then rename, and take the name of this folder. Okay, and add it. This is the ship squad team, and add, and browse. Okay, and then the data cube, and then the ship squad team. Okay, and then we will give the ship squad team permissions. Okay, so expelled permission, and then we will give the ship squad team of starcom. Remember that we are using global groups that contains groups from the main branch and groups from the other branches. This we call group cascading. Please refer to my previous videos concerning the group cascading. Okay, so now we have all of the folders ready. So now we need to have a workstation joining the domain, and we need first, before this, we need to make it or add it to the allow filter option, because it will not take an IP address version 4 unless it is added to the allow filters in the DHCP. So we need to do this, and remember that the Hyper-V virtual machine should have a static MAC address, because by default the Hyper-V machines are taking a dynamic network or MAC address. So the MAC address need to be static. Okay, because this will not work with the allow filter in the DHCP. So here we have it as static. We will type this MAC address, so the DHCP can allow, or it will give this MAC address an IP address. So now we are typing the MAC address of the machine or the network card. So now we will add the here is the MAC address, and then this is the machine. It will take two IP addresses, one for the IP version 6 and the other for the IP version 4. So now we'll tell him OK, and then we need to join this machine to the domain. This is the machine that we have mixes prep to it and take it as a template. So we will use it now. We can see this is the department shares. Here we can see that the depths, or the dep, this is the depths folder, if we can, or this is the depths folder in the DFS naming space. It contains all of the departments folders. Okay, because I am a member of the domain admins, and domain admins can see all of the folders. They have access to all of the folders in the domain namespace naming folders, so I can see all of them. If I was in the engineering team, I will only see the engineering team, and all of the other folders will disappear. I will show you all this when it comes, but bear with me. So now what we will do is now join the workstation to the domain. So tell him OK, and then we will go and join this machine. So we'll make start, or we will Control Alt Delete and use KRAO1. Okay, and login. And then we need to join this machine to the domain. Okay, here I think before here I am trying to see if it's taking any IP address or other things, but we can go a little bit further anyway. So what we will do now, we will go and so you will tell him manage or properties. And then just a moment guys, sorry. So we guys, what I'm doing here, we have a little bit, we can go a little bit further here. So we make right click properties, and then we make change setting, and then we tell him change. So this is the way to join this machine to the domain. So we tell him start rec.local, and then we need to join this machine to the domain and access this machine with an engineering user. Okay, an engineering user. So we can see, if we can see only the engineering department folder. This is the domain admin account, so I can log in, or I can join this machine to the domain. So remember, this machine, it will be in the Starfleet command center. So this is in the main branch. It is a main branch workstation. Okay, so take this into good consideration, because we will see an error that will appear, and I'll show you all why this error appeared for us. And remember, this is a workstation for the engineering department in the main branch, or the engineering department in the Starcom Fleet Command Center. Okay, so now here what we will do, we will try first to access this machine, okay, with a user from the Columbia team, or the Columbia users. Remember, the machine or the Starcom engineering workstation, it is a workstation for the Starfleet Command Center, not a machine for the Columbia ship. And we will try to access the Starcom Fleet workstation with a user from the Columbia ship. Okay, and we will see what will happen if we do this, but I'll show you all, so please wait. Now we can see here the engineering team, the security group in the engineering team. We will add a user from the crew of the engineering, from the crew of the Starship Columbia. We will add it in the engineering security group of Columbia. Okay, the AI, remember the AI, artificial intelligent user, we will add it to the engineering group in the Columbia ship. Okay, and I will use the engineering AI user of Columbia to access the Starcom engineering workstation, and we will see if we will be accepted or not. Okay, or if it will let us log in or not. Okay, so now we will try. We will go now to the AI engineering artificial intelligent user. Okay, and we will have a password, or I will reset a password. Just know the user. So right click and you will give it a password. Okay, so we need to access a Starcom engineering workstation, or the main branch engineering PC, with a user from a branch of the branches. Okay, in the engineering team as well. Okay, so we will see that. Remember, this is Colo Engines, so we will see now this user is a member of all species and engineering and AI users, so it's related only to the Columbia ship. We will see that in a moment when we log in with this user.
we will see what will happen. Okay, remember that we have done something in the previous videos, something related to, I will not tell you until the error appears, but take into consideration this. You can see that the Starcom engineering team, or the security group in the main branch, contains all of the engineering groups in the other branches. Okay, and this applies to all of the groups in the main branch groups. Okay, or all of the groups of the main branch. Okay, so we can see shared access. This is discussed, which we call the group cascading. So now we need to log in with the Columbia user, okay, on the Starcom engineering workstation. Shared access DLL. Anyway, so bypass this. Okay, we don't need all of this. So now we go to the workstation. Okay, now we will log in with the user, or the AI, artificial intelligence of the group, artificial intelligence of engineering, artificial intelligence of the Columbia ship. So now we have the welcome screen. Okay, so we will tell him the user, and we have the password. So when tell him enter, what does this means? The account is configured to prevent you from using this PC. Remember that we have a script, or we have decided that only the engineering PCs in the Starcom Fleet Commander will be accessed with the Starcom AI engineering user. We are now using the Columbia AI engineering user, not the Starcom AI engineering user. So we have restricted the access to the Starcom engineering PCs only to be accessed by the Starcom engineering AI user, not the Columbia AI engineering user. So this is why it didn't allow us to access this machine. If we go now and get the Starcom AI engineering user and access it with this user, it will accept. So we will see that now in a moment. It is called Workstation Login Restriction. So you can restrict certain users to access certain PCs. Okay, so now we will go here. I will just show you all a little bit of. We will go now to the Starfleet command. We'll go to the crew. Okay, just a moment. So we'll go now to the crew. Okay, just a moment here. Again. So we'll go to the ships. Okay, not here. We'll go to the Starfleet command. Okay, and then we'll go to the crew. Okay, go to the crew. Go to the crew. Okay, no, we go to the crew here, and then we'll have the engineering AI, Starcom engineering AI. This is the user that I've allowed it to access the engineering workstations. So now we will use this user. Okay, login to, you can see here that I have tell him to access all of these engineering workstations, including the one that I have joined it to the domain recently. So now we will reset the password, and then we'll put the password. Okay, and then tell him okay, and now we will try to access, okay, the machine with this user account. Okay, so now we'll go now and access the machine. Okay, with it, full screen, and then okay, and then we'll use this user. Okay, and so now he will allow us to access, because this user have full access, or it is allowed to access this machine and other machines which end with eng in the Starcom. Okay, So we need after logging in with this user, we need to see if he will see only the engineering folder, okay, that we have discussed now. So we'll have all ships, he need to see all ships engineering folder, okay. We will see if he will see it or not. And here we need to add this user to the Starcom engineering team, okay. So because I didn't add it to engineering team, so he is not added to the engineering team, we need to add it. So now what we will do, now we will access it. We need to see if the domain namespace, we will see the folders of the engineering only in the all ships folder, okay. So we'll see that now in a moment. Actually it took a little bit of time, okay, so it didn't appear from the first time. So I will log off from this user, but I will show you all what I mean by this. So if we can go a little bit further here, okay. So now first of all we need to see, here is this is a completely new user on this machine. We can see that he can see his Karim Raouf or KRAO shortcuts and the taskbar. He will see it now in a moment. So I will show you all this. So this is because of the DevProf program, and because KRAOF or KRO1, it is the default Windows 10 user profile, so he sees all of my shortcuts and all of my taskbar. We will see that in a moment. So here we can see, just a moment here, so here the department shares, we can see here that the M, or we can get a little bit further here. So here I should see in this department shares, I should see, if you open it, I should see the all ships engineering folder. So I didn't see it directly. I need to log off and log in with another user, and then I saw it. But just wait for a moment. Here we can see also that the shortcuts in the taskbar, it is the same as my KRAO user. So here I didn't see the folder. So what I will do now, I will log off. Okay, what I'll do now, I will log off. Okay, so here I will log off from this user, okay, and go to or access with Karim user. So let's show you all this. We need to be a little bit further here. So I restart and then logged off, so and log in again. So this is the machine, but I logged in with KRAOF or the domain admin account. And when I open the department share, okay, I can see all of the folders, okay. So now let's try and log in with the user of the engineering. We will see if I can see only the engineering folder. So now we will log off. So here what you will see now, here we will see that if I logged in with the engineering user, I will see the folder of the engineering only. So I will show you, let you see here. Now I will log in. So I made a restart and then log in with my user, domain admin, and then I will log in again with the user of the engineering. We need to see only the engineering folder, okay. So here if you can go a little bit further or like this, okay. So when we open, the department, here we can see that here I only saw the engineering folder, not all of the other folders. So this is correct. This is a user in the engineering team and he can see only the engineering folder, okay. but there is here an issue, okay, concerning this method. Remember that in this this diagram we have give him the data cube, we have give authenticated users change permission, and it is inherited to all of the other folders, okay. So basically this a user in the engineering can delete the folder completely, okay. So this is another issue, okay, that this user can delete the folder, okay. He can delete the folder itself. It's not the shortcut, he will delete the folder completely. But there is a little bit of dilemma here, or he can delete this folder unless there is files and other users are working on it. So he will not be able to delete the folder unless there is no one working on the folder. But if there is other persons working on the folder, he will not be able to delete it, but he have the permission to delete the folder. So this is one of the big things I can consider, but it is likely not to happen that he will be able to delete the folder, because mostly there will be users working on the folder, so he will not be able to delete the folder. Anyway, this is one of the issues of the DFS naming space, because we have give them access to the data queue folder, and they have change permission, and we cannot give them read, because if we give them read, they will not be able to add folders or add files in these folders. So this is another problem. And I need to tell you something, all that in the previous videos, the data cube, I give them, the authenticated users give them read, so you need to take care, because when I give them read, there was errors when I try to create folders in these subfolders or create files in these folders. It give me that you cannot do it. So here the authenticated user is change, it's not read. So this is something to take into consideration. The users can delete the folder, it will not delete the pointer, but it will delete the folder itself, okay. So here we can see that I can access it. If I access it now, for example, and I need to make a file, for example, now I will try to make a file. What he will do now, he will tell me that you do not have permission, okay. Why is this? Because here I give the data queue folder, I give the authenticated users read permission, not change. So as soon as I change it from read to change, everything works smoothly. But as I said before, if you give them this permission, he can delete the whole folder. He will not delete the pointer, he will delete the folder itself. So this is the issue, but it worked for me at the end. And this is I will not bother you all with the details of the other or of the rest of the video, because it was troubleshooting the problem of this permission, but I finally find it at the end. Hope this video was informative for all, and would like to thank you all for viewing. Just remember, we are in a video or in the minute 45. Thank you so much. Hope this video was informative for you all, and would like to thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.